The topic of today's meeting it's Security.txt module functionality, which should be released as a part of security package with the next Magento release, I hope. And today I'm going to show a demonstration, and my plan is the next. First part is just intro and high-level overview about Security.txt, purpose, and so on. The second part is what we have in Magento for this module and how it works on Storefront. And the third part is more detailed information about each fields in Magento, purposes, and other stuff. So let's start. First of all, in general, Security.txt, the main idea of this model is provide more flexible communication between domain owners like store owners, website owners, and users in scope of collaboration and communication about security issues, security vulnerabilities, and related process. So it is the base and idea of this model. This functionality was made based on security convention in the internet that describe all possible details, requirements, nuances, how this approach this should work and how it can be implemented. It's very long document and cover possibly everything that could be, it could answer all your questions. And this model.
Can I just ask us
Yes.
a question on that? So you said that this is basically used by the website developers to inform users about security policies. Can you give an example under what condition would they be informing the users?
Yes, it is the
It's
main
vice
part
versa
of
actually.
this. Sorry.
It's vice versa actually, Smita.
Okay.
Users actually send the data to website owners or developers so they know about the security issues on the website.
Okay, so would these changes then, are you assuming that these are basically some customized changes that a store developer has done? Because I believe like if there is any application related, Magento related changes, then it should be notified to us unless it's some customization which has led to a vulnerability which the website store owner have to do it.
I think this is yes, sir. Hey, go ahead.
Sorry, I just want to say that it's the main topic, and during this demo, I want to reveal all this question. And give me please 5 minutes. And
Okay,
I
sure.
think it's just intro part. I don't want to deep in details, review all this document in each points and so on. Just one intro, jump in, show how it looks in Magento, then more details and question. Okay?
Sure. Yeah.
I hope I will answer all your questions. Okay, it was, as I mentioned, developed by Internet Security Convention that in use in all around the world. And based on this convention, implementation has been done by our greatest community member, Kalpesh, who is currently on this call. Thank you, Kalpesh.
Thank you
for that. And this functionality brings to Magento a couple of admin panel configuration, and let's see better to see how it Magento. In Magento admin panel, we have next configuration for this model. It placed in store configuration under security section. Expand it and see Security.txt settings. So it has a couple of sets of configuration. First of all, is general, like enable, disable this model, this functionality, contact information that admin user or store owner can or want to provide, and other additional information that also use it according to this security convention. Okay, how it looks on Storefront. Example user, go to homepage and type slash dot well dash known slash security.txt and receive the very simple text page which contains all information that admin specified in admin panel, like contact information and other related stuff. In general, that's it for functionality of this model. And now let's go through. Let's go through for these details about each settings and about the main purposes why it was created. As I mentioned, there are conventions that cover all aspects of this model, of these settings, of this configuration, and the main motivation the next. Previously, based on existing convention, store owner, domain owner should have only one point to communication related to security vulnerabilities, and it's defined like email address security@domain. Such approach does not provide like enough flexibility and abilities for domain owners to publish additional information related to security, collaboration, and communication. And actually, the main idea of this convention and the model is just define possible and secure approach how merchant can share this information, how users, bug searchers, I don't know, bug hunters, whatever, can use it. So this is an idea. Any question on right now? It is not change some Magento security parts or change some code. It just brings additional ability to add small part to the URL, well-known Security.txt, and receive in text format information where can be reported security issue, how to do it, and other stuff.
Is there a way to go to that page without typing the URL?
Technically, this is a typing URL, well known the Security.txt. It's a part of security convention that should be unified on all websites like best practice. But in general, it is not a problem like, let me see, put it in some CMS page like I did. Probably in some better design, of course, but like contact us or security or I don't know, whatever. User click receive the same. Yes.
It's like robots.txt, so all the SEO people know the location of robots.txt file. So like that, this is for security. So going forward, everybody will know how to report security. And this is RFC, and this is the standard URL, standard file location in for everybody who uses this kind of security policy on their website. So it's not designed for end user who are non-technical. It's only for bug bounty hunters and security researchers.
Thank you. Helping me. Yes.
Okay, so basically this is for a user to raise any security related issues to a store admin or a store developer, and then the developer can make a call whether it's a problem that is because of the way they have deployed it, or it's like something related to Magento, so they would then go through bug bounty. But it is just basically for the user to let the store admin know that there's a security issue, correct?
It's not like for store admin, but for the owner and security department who work with all security reports. And it's like some approach to report and receive some probably feedback about a report. It's not like here is our bug tracker with all security, please see. No, it's still secured, but little bit extended. Not only like security email and that's it, but little bit little bit more extended. Let's see
Can you give
about
me an
yep.
example? Can you give me an example of that? Like, under what case somebody would use this?
For example, I'm found some security issue and I want to report or see how the process for reporting this issue should be. I don't know anything, I just can create some email and that's it. But it should be last part of my demo, but let me show how the google.com use the same functionality. I just go to google.com, put well-known Security.txt, and what we see? Contact. For example, how Google use it for contact. We see, according to this, following these links from contact, we see detailed information about program, about how we can report issue, and friendly user interface that provide ability to communicate. Next one, for example, bug hunter recognition. It'd be some page that thank you this awesome guy who help us to find issue our bug hunters. For example, no private information, no security, just like Hall of Fame. And another part like a policy and reward program that describe how it works, what benefits you can receive, and so on, so on. And additional part is like hiring. For example, we have some position, opened position for security, and we can put a link here, for example.
So I understand this. I just have one question, that why would somebody use a domain URL to submit versus not directly submitting through Bug Bounty or HackerOne?
I can actually give a real example because the reason I came up with this module is because I personally faced issue. So that's why probably I'll give you more realistic example. So as an end user and also somebody who knows about security, I used to surf on so many e-commerce websites and I came across some issues like cross-site scripting or some remote code execution vulnerabilities in some of the website, and they were merchant websites. They were not Magento.com website. It was like somebody using Magento powered website. I mean, not small, but they were like pretty big companies, right? And in vertical. So I tried to reach out to them saying that I found an issue. I don't want money, but I want to let you know that somebody can exploit this, can abuse this. So I reached out to them via LinkedIn, via Twitter, via Whois information, because you get the email from Whois, you get the information from the contact us. I did talk to the customer service employees as well, but nobody really understood the gravity of the issue, and maybe they thought maybe it's some kind of scam or some kind of like like because hackers don't have the good reputation and they just like dust it off like there's nothing wrong and we don't know, or maybe it goes into the wrong department, like it goes to engineering team and they say okay, we will do this, but not on a priority because they don't understand the gravity of the issue. So in those cases, the vulnerability stays for a long period of time until it reaches to their security team or somebody who knows about security in the department. And that's when this, before even they get to know, I mean, there are hackers out there who already abuse that information. So I faced some hard time reaching out to the right people on merchant's team or on store owner's team. And obviously nobody will like willing to give you some information about that company because it's like a black box. If it's a private company, it's a black box. You cannot really reach to the guy unless you found them on LinkedIn or really they mentioned somewhere. But it's not the case for most of the companies, given of different size of the merchant and also different kind of policies they have internally. So that's why I was facing hard time, and I came across this RFC which allows every merchant to configure this. They just need to configure it once, and then the people like security researcher or end user who come up on any issue, security issue, they know how to send this information to the right person, and it directly it bypasses all the other people who we don't need to contact. Like we don't need to create panic, or we don't need to even contact them for these things. It goes directly to the person who is responsible and owns the security of the website, and it becomes their responsibility to get this information. So this email, phone contact is the reason that we reach to the security team rather than info at some example.com. We don't want to send it to like many people in the team. We just need security team to know if there is a security issue. So that's why this I mean, for big companies they can open bug bounties, but this module gives an opportunity to the small merchants to create their own bug bounty on their own website. They can decide on reward if they even want to give. Some people just say thank you, and that's very good enough for many people.
Yeah. Okay. Makes So you would say that mostly these issues, like the problems that you faced, it was implementation related security issue could be one example of this, which is not directly related to Magento, but somehow, like, the way the website has been implemented, it opened some security holes. And that's the reason, like, that some user figured it out and they want to inform the merchant that this is an existing like issue. Might not be something that Magento has, but like, the website has.
Exactly. Every
Okay.
individual websites have tons of
Yeah.
customization and tons of
Okay.
extension. So this provides an ability for a researcher to reach directly to the merchant team for their specific scenario. If they found something that is more generalized, like in Magento have bug bounty, so they can go there then.
Right, right. Okay, makes sense. Okay, yeah, thank you so much. I'm just hearing about this particular feature, like, right now, understanding it well. So that's why I have all
Mhm.
these questions.
No, it totally makes sense because this is still early, right? And like so many companies, like big companies are ahead, and we don't want to stay behind. That's why I did it a little bit early. Then it becomes like mainstream.
Yeah, no,
Also,
makes sense.
I submitted several examples, like for the Google.com,
Yeah.
GitHub, Facebook, Walmart, some others. So like a big resources, they do support that items.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I don't have any other questions.
So in general, the main idea to reveal it just the rest is couple of fields that we have in other information, a couple of words about each of them, like a final part. Encryption provide the ability to encrypt communication related to these issues and this type of communication. Acknowledgements, it's just if you want, if admin or domain owner want, can make some page like Hall of Fame for our security bug hunter. Preferred languages, languages that prefer to use for reporting. Hiring, as I show policy, its ability, additional ability to show more information about current situation, about hiring position or policy, like about how to report and how it will be collaborated.
I have one
This,
question.
yeah.
Actually, here, should we pre-populate, let's say, contact page or email address with the default values for Magento? Let's say, like for the HackerOne, or I don't know, like some email address for security escalations or reports, like by default. Definitely, store owners can redefine this, but out of the box, at least, we at the Magento will be notified about the security issues in Magento platform itself. So, Smita, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. But just going back to the point that HackerOne accepts issues, security issues, which are directly related to uh, the Magento application, and in this case, this could be something related to, merchant's implementation. So that's where, like, it may not be some of these submissions may not be like will be a false positive for HackerOne. But I do want to make sure that it gets to the store owners, which is basically uh, the ultimate. So what we could do is like maybe have another field which has HackerOne's the default URL for Magento for submitting, but for communication it should still have for the email, phone, and everything, it should still have the merchant's uh, email ID to receive those notifications.
That's correct about the phone number and maybe even the email address. You're right, but I'm just worried that once we'll release this functionality with no default values, means format will be supported, but actually page will be empty with no information because maybe not all merchants will go and populate it immediately. So I would like to have at least a reference to the contact page, which explains how to report Magento security issues. But on the other side, this will actually expose some stuff, and I don't know how concerned we are about that. That let's say I have some website, and as the end user, I actually don't know which platform is used under the hood to run the store. But if I'll go to like a well-known Security.txt, it will show me that if you have issues with Magento security related, please go and report it to us. So it means we're already exposing that actually this store already written on Magento framework, which actually gives additional information for the hackers to what to look for. But at the same time, we can pull out the Magento version, I believe, through the API as well. So there are still some ways to figure out the platform of the store, but just one more item for you to consider.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I think there are other ways to find out Magento version as well. And your concern about like, putting, so the values that we have here, which is example, although it's not like real examples, but that should help the customer, right? Like, would these be displayed if the customer enables yes and then doesn't fill all these values?
It will be empty page.
Okay, so if you
You will
just
just
choose yes
enable and
okay. Yeah, so maybe what we can do is just make sure that we have these examples. So even if they choose yes and don't put this, then instead of empty,
I
I
don't
think
see any problem to prefill
okay
with
to
this
it
have.
should
data.
not allow you to save when you enable and don't put values here.
Probably it will be not possible to save.
And
Yeah,
Sigi,
if
I
you
think
are not able
it
to make
probably
the change.
it makes sense to add this example field for, notice for every field, like in email, phone, and yeah, looks like it's required.
Yeah.
But instead of putting the example com security contact, maybe we can put link to Magento instruction how to report security issue. So if store owner don't have this procedure or something like that, at least he can follow or actually fall back to Magento policy how to report this stuff. So maybe we
So
can
in
have.
policy, okay, so for in policy, you want actually to have a hard-coded value for HackerOne. Is that what you're suggesting?
Yes, so on the GitHub we have this how to report security issue page, and
Yeah.
actually from here, as an example, notice we can point to this page, for instance.
Yeah. Or we also have this, let me share that link. So if we go to magento.com/security, we have something called report security issue. And when you click on that, it takes you to this particular URL. Let me put it on the chat. Yeah. So you have that submit report. So basically we can have this as a hard-coded value.
Do you mean instead of this hint messages or just field pre-filled? Yes, I don't see any problem. Just feel free to create tickets probably, or let me create this content and which you want to see. And it's not big deal in development plan, I think.
Yeah. I'm thinking so this link should be in the policy, right? Is that where you typically companies mention their HackerOne handle? I think I saw in Google that they had in policy their bug bounty handle.
Yeah, they have policy where they mention what type of bugs will be allowed and what type
Okay.
of bugs won't be allowed for reward.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think we have that sort of distinction anywhere. So maybe like, yeah, I think this is fine. Like in policy, we can make sure that we have this hard-coded value so that even if nothing is failed, like they know that at least they can reach out to HackerOne for Magento.
Yeah.
So do you recommend to have hackerone.com/Magento reference or magento.com/security?
Yeah. I think this is hackerone.com/Magento because even if you do go to magento.com/security, people have to find that tile which says report security issue. So I would just rather go here.
The problem is that actually we had like a bug bounty program which was not HackerOne, and we not so long, but not so, so we migrated to HackerOne system. If next month or next year we will change the provider, that means we will need to go and update, information inside Magento stores. But we do control Magento.com security, which is kind of resource controlled by us for sure. And if we'll change provider, merchants instances. So to be honest, from my side, I would recommend go to Magento.com security, which is official Magento website, rather than building the dependency on a third-party website. It's just a recommendation from my side.
How difficult it is to basically change the hard-coded value later?
Technically, this value will be saved in the database of the store.
Okay.
So we will need to create upgrade scripts and update values inside database. But
Okay.
I'm not sure it's the best way.
Yeah, and even if it's easy for the older people, like for people who are using older version of Magento, they will not able to change it because it's still in their database.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So then let's then have /magento.com/security. Is there a possibility that we can write a text below? Like, I don't know, like something like go to this and then find report security issue.
Yes, I believe I see.
Yeah,
So
or maybe you can just give a parenthesis here and it should be fine. I think it's anyway not linking anything. It's a text file, so you can give parenthesis.
Yeah, the thing is that people often go to my magento.com/security and then there are so many different, news about patches and other things. So I feel like I know people shouldn't get easily lost, but still
Smita, we're talking about the hackers and specifically about the security hackers. They are not newbie guys, to be honest. Like, believe me, they're pretty smart. Paying attention to all details, the other stuff. So if hacker cannot find the button on the website on the page, probably it's not the right person. But I don't think that it's a big concern. So we're talking about the hackers, smart people, very smart people. Definitely,
if
they
I'm
should
not
be able to
wrong,
find the button.
yeah, but I think we were also talking about the website users who actually figure out that there's a security issue and want to report it to the website admin or like developer.
Look, if the user at the level where he or she can identify security hole on the website, this is not a common generic user anymore. It's more advanced level. And I do believe that this user should be able to find the button report security bug or report security issue on the website.
Yeah, I mean, it's a small thing. I'm just thinking about like, that sometimes it can be like a security concern as well. So, but yeah, I think it's not very hard to find report security issue on magento.com/security. So that was like a small suggestion, but I think this, yeah, it's fine either way.
Yeah, just like thinking about when this will go live on any merchant. If it's really a Magento.com security issue, then those will be on an advanced level, guys. If it
Yeah.
is on the merchant level, they may like scramble to find those buttons, but it may not be a security issue as well because they may be misjudged anything. But this is for a template, so I believe this can be fine. It's just a template.
Yeah.
So just to summarize, we agreed that email phone number will be empty by default, contact page will be empty by default, but we will add tip, this like an example and reference to magento.com/security, and all other fields will be empty as well, correct?
Yeah, so for email, we'll add an example, and policy would be pre-populated with magento.com/security.
Okay, policy, but not contact page.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
For contact page, we should use as example like support magento.com leave as is.
I believe it is.
Yeah, just I leave it as it is.
So only one changes is policy is pre-populated. It means this field are pre-filled with this value by default.
Yeah, and you
That's
can
correct.
remove example there below.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's it from my side. Any question we have to discuss? I will create issue for these changes and share with email with you. And any other questions, topic to discuss?
No, nothing from my side.
No, from my side. Thank you, Kopesh.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you
for
so much,
attendance.
Kalpesh. Really
Oh,
appreciate your.
thank you also for accommodating this module. This will be very much helpful to people like me for sure.
So
Awesome.
thank you everyone for your time, for joining. Have a good day. See you.
Okay.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Thank you.
Stay safe.
Bye, guys. Stay safe, guys. Bye.
Bye.